Well, I want to point out something about dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO, that a lot of times you see the sale for it for 99.9% concentration. And what a lot of people don't realize is that 99.9% concentration really needs to be diluted or cut with something, especially, well, it needs to be cut with something that is you can take internally, because whatever you dilute it with will get absorbed directly into the bloodstream. The reason it needs to be cut somewhat is because a 50% to 70% solution concentration of DMSO is actually far more effective in absorbing into the bloodstream and deep into the muscle tissue than a 99.9% concentration. A lot of people are probably just buying this stuff and they don't realize, hey, I got to get to 99.9% because I think it's better. Well, it ain't necessarily better. I'm not using the right language here, but it's not necessarily better. This is actually a 70-30 concentration. So between 50% and 70% is your ideal concentration for absorption of DMSO into the bloodstream, deep into the muscle tissue, all the way down to the bone. And this also contains aloe vera. Now, aloe vera, as you know, is highly therapeutic and healing. As a matter of fact, to give you a way back history on it, the army of Alexander the Great, one of his biggest military strategy or points that he needed to capture was an island that had a lot of aloe vera trees on it, because the aloe vera was used to heal the wounds of his soldiers. So it's been known ever since, probably even before that, but that's one major recorded historical fact that Alexander the Great knew about aloe vera, and one of his most important military focal points was on this island that had the aloe vera tree, because it heals pretty much anything. Now, DMSO actually, I don't know when it was really discovered, but as far as the actual medical discovery for it came about in the early 1960s. I think, DMSO was known as a byproduct of the paper pulp industry, and it's produced by the ton. What it was Dr. Stanley Jacob of the Oregon, head of the Oregon State Organ Transplant and Heart Surgery, heart transplant clinic, was using it to preserve organs, and also to help with the transplants. And then he decided to try it on arthritic patients because it seemed to work against inflammation. And lo and behold, when you put this stuff on, almost instantly have instant pain relief. So a lot of times people are getting the 99.9% stuff, and really should be getting a 50-50. And I know there's different ones you can get that have different products in them. One that's out there is an Arnica Montana gel, which will be 90% Arnica Montana cream with 10% DMSO to work as a delivery agent. But this one is mainly DMSO, but it has aloe vera. So it's you're better off for the money and for what your goals are. Like if you're trying to use this against arthritic pain or muscle pain, and it's been used a lot in sports medicine. It was illegal for a while, but then it's no longer illegal. But they still don't use it in the medical world. It's too good. It even has some anti-cancer properties in it. Now, I'd imagine something like if you put, maybe not this stuff, but say some type of vitamin C mixed in with the DMSO or turmeric, maybe you're going to have some serious antiviral or anti-cancer properties there too. That's the thing. Since this stuff actually penetrates deep down into the bloodstream and into the muscle tissue all the way to the bone, nothing else does it. Everything else is topical. It can be used as a delivery agent for anything you want, anything good or bad. That's the problem. And I think that's probably the problem why it was illegal for a while, because If your skin is not clean, for instance, if your skin has dirty motor oil on it, say you're working on your car, actually I'm doing this on the hood of my 78 El Camino because this is, this is kind of rebel redneck health here, okay? If you had dirty motor oil on your hands from working on your car and you use this DMSO, that dirty motor oil with all its contaminants and petroleum distillates would get absorbed directly into the bloodstream. That is why wherever you put this on, the area must be very clean. It's very important. I should mention that again. The area must be very clean. So whatever you put on the top of the skin before you put this on will be absorbed directly into the bloodstream, which means it could actually have applications for, and this is what they were thinking initially, where people did not have to have vaccinations, but then they found ways to use patches and different things like that, or the other types of oral medicines that work pretty well. So this is another method, possibly even where maybe nutrients can be delivered too more directly into the bloodstream. And one thing I was almost thinking was, possibly, I don't know this for a fact, possibly like vitamin C. Intravenous vitamin C works a heck of a lot better than oral vitamin C. Now, I'm going to repeat again, I've been using this method here with the TENS pads and this Beck style Bob Beck blood electrifier. And I have been using this solely really for the purposes of causing transfection, which helps to super absorb whatever nutrients I put in the body. So I'm taking mega vitamin C with this to hopefully take the mega vitamin C and be uptaked into the cells directly. Now maybe an alternative, I'm saying maybe, okay, because I'm not sure, these experiments that have been done with DMSO are probably not published on the internet, and but I do know that whatever you put on top of the skin and you put this over it will be absorbed directly into the bloodstream. So possibly, maybe you could take some vitamin C, put it on the skin, and absorb it directly into the bloodstream with DMSO. Now, the one caveat with DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, is that it'll cause dryness of the skin. So what you might want to do is follow it up with some coconut oil in the area you use it. You don't really want to use this on the face because it could actually cause so much drying that it can actually cause wrinkles. Now, if you took a solution of the best herbal remedies and you put 90 to 95% of the best herbal remedies and you put 5 or 10% DMSO in that and made a cream out of it, maybe that would be fine for the face, because then you're just using a minimal amount of DMSO and you're mainly delivering the best herbal remedies. So it could be retinol cream or whatever the heck, your vitamin C cream, but vitamin B vitamins, whatever you would put on the skin that's helpful for the skin that you might want to have it super absorbed. Even 5% DMSO would work. So anyway, just want to put this out here, some little information, and of course, you notice on the rest of my channel I put a lot of Cooters stuff out here, so we got Cooters cups on here and stuff, and the old Rebel flag, because this is something that is not going to be, the one reason that DMSO was attacked early on, at first they loved it, but the problem is it did so much for so little cost that they hate it. You can't buy this in your Walgreens or Walmart or your pharmaceutical stores. It's not sold there. You got to buy it online, and they do not make any medical claims on it. Although if you look in sports medicine, even when this stuff was illegal it was legal, then they made it illegal, then they made it legal again. But it's still not used in the medical world, but it's used in the sports medicine world, that particular branch, and always was used in sports medicine even when it was illegal, because it worked like a miracle. It really does bring down the inflammation and helps with the healing, and whatever you put on the skin, so like this is a good combination, I think, because aloe vera is very much a healer. So you're going to deliver that aloe vera directly into the muscle. I mean, you can't beat that, right? Right into the bloodstream, right into the muscle. It's an all-round healer. So, and the DMSO itself does have very strong anti-inflammatory properties, and also it even has some anti-cancer properties. So it's great if you probably, what you can do is if you made a concoction that you thought was anti-cancerous, you could probably use this on an affected cancer area and deliver the anti-cancer agent directly into the blood without having to use intravenous or affect the entire body. You would only be affecting the area you applied it. So it would be like a targeted area. And you can do like not a chemotherapy but a herbal cancer therapy direct to the area that has cancer. That's a possibility. And of course, I do think that works. It does have the potential to work. It's stellar because so many herbs out there are extremely anti-cancerous. So when you combine it with the DMSO and it's being penetrated directly into the muscle or into the tumor or whatever, it should work, you would think. I can't give you that kind of information on here, but I can only suggest to you that, I could tell you this. This thing had too much positive results, too many good results, and too many, same thing, actually saying the same thing, and too many different uses for such a low price. That is why they made it illegal for a while, but then the demand, especially from sports medicine, caused it to be legal again, because they're not going to put a football star on trial because he used DMSO because his knee hurt or his shoulder hurt, and you put this guy out of action, this multi-million-dollar contracted guy with the NFL. That's really how it became legal again. But they do not make medical claims with it. That's the thing. But that's, it was Dr. Stanley Jacob of the state of Oregon Transplant and Heart Transplant Clinic that actually started finding out all the medical uses for this. The thing is, he found too many good uses, which it became a major threat to the pharmaceutical industry. And that is why, the information is pretty much buried. But one thing most people don't know is that the 99.9% solution is not nearly as effective in absorbing it past the skin as the 50% to 70% solution. So here we have a 70% with 30% aloe vera. So I could actually add something to this, and I could still maybe cut it down to 50% DMSO, and it'd still be highly effective in absorbing. So I could even add something else to the aloe vera. Say I added a little coconut oil to it. You'd have to add something that's safe that you would take internally, because whatever you mix with this stuff gets right into your bloodstream. So you got to be very careful with what you choose for that, and that is why your hands must be clean when you're working with this stuff. Okay, so there's some facts you probably didn't know about, and maybe that'll help you out. This stuff is cheap. I forgot what it was, $20 or something like that for a pound. If you look online on eBay, look for the 1 pound. Don't look for 16 ounces. Look for the word 1 pound DMSO, 70% or 70-30 or 50-50, and you'll find there are various things.